Today we're going to do an unboxing, a flip through, and a first impressions of this new awesome deck that I got. This is the Awakening Tarot by Monica Bodirsky. It is what appears to be, I think is going to be a really interesting and unique tarot deck, even though the last thing I needed in my life was another tarot deck. Guess what? I saw this and I had to have it. So let's get started. Hi, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. My name is Megan, and I'm also known as Nightingale Tarot. I'm a certified nurse midwife by day and often by night, who also happens to be a tarot master. I've been reading tarot for about 26 years as of 2024, and I've been teaching tarot for about the past 5 years. I also read Lenormand and regular playing cards, as well as runes, bones, oracles, so let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing any of those other things for my videos in addition to tarot. You can find me in all the places by following the link tree in the description box below the video. That's where you'll learn how to contact me, as well as learn more about my services. You'll learn how to book several different types of private readings for yourself, or also malocchio, also known as evil eye removal. Most of my readings and services are virtual, via Zoom, phone, or sometimes even email, so you don't have to be living in Honolulu in order to get a reading from me. I love to read your comments, I love to answer your questions, and I love to engage with you here, so don't be shy with your comments, and don't hesitate to drop a request in that comments box if there's a specific topic you'd like to see me read on for you. If you like what you see, I greatly appreciate a quick click of the like and subscribe button from you. Don't forget to turn on notifications if you want to make sure you don't ever miss any new content. Okay. I ordered this deck from Barnes & Noble because that was one of the authorized retailers. And I'll just pause here for a second to say, if you're a tarot reader or if you're someone who purchases decks, please make sure that you are always purchasing your decks from an authorized dealer so that the artist who created that deck always gets the royalties due to them. There are a lot of counterfeit decks out there, and you need to be careful and you need to be aware of where you're purchasing your decks. And this artist listed on her website Barnes & Noble as a place that was an authorized retailer, so that's why I got it there. So here's the box. It's a nice box, magnetic closure, which I love. I love a high quality tarot box. And wow, look how thick this book is. This is legit. Great book. It's got nice full color pictures of each card. And as far as the book goes for me, I've been reading tarot for a long time, so I don't ever really need the book to interpret the cards. However, I do like to have the book to read about why the artist chose the images they chose. I feel like you can get a lot of good information and kind of bring a depth to your reading whenever you really dive deep into what the artist has to say about the art that they chose. So that is a reason to have a nice, robust artist book like this one. So I like to see a book like this in these sorts of decks. And now here we have a second box with the cards inside. So a box within a box. If I can actually open this. Oh my God, that is tight and I don't want to tear it. Okay. Great. So as we can see, these cards have unfinished edges, so they're white, just regular paper. Anyone who has ever seen my tarot deck collection knows that that doesn't last very long with me. I color the edges of all of my decks. I usually do this with Copic markers. This deck will be no exception. So I'll flip through it today, talk about it today, and then before I actually read with it, you can bet that these edges are going to be some color that I haven't decided on yet. So let's start by looking at the backs. Super cool. It's a moth, a death's head moth, so I love that. We'll come closer to the camera so you can see that in a little more detail. Nice. The cardstock is pretty nice. It's thin enough that if you rifle shuffle your decks, you'll be able to easily do that, like so. But it's thick enough where it has some level of durability. You know, it doesn't feel flimsy by any means, but it's going to be easily shuffleable. So now let's go through. We're going to flip through one at a time through the entire deck so we can take a look at each one. So we're going backwards with the majors here, starting at card 21, which is interesting that she didn't start with card 0, but that's okay. I'm going to flip through them in the order that they're in. We have the Cosmos. Look at that. Awakening. So some of the cards obviously are going to be named different things than the original Rider-Waite majors. I expect that the same thing is going to come in the minors. Well-being. Oh, what an interesting take. Cycles. Aspiration. Epiphany. Servitude. Transformation. Release, which mimics the back of the card here. You see it's a moth, like morphing into something with human legs. Perspective. Integrity. Destiny. Contemplation. Also an interesting take on that. These are so interesting. Fortitude. Balance. Intimacy. The seer. Oh, the green being. Abundance. The sage. Manifestation. Oh, the seeker. So none of those majors were traditional names of any of these cards. So very interesting take on that. And sometimes when decks do that, it kind of rubs me the wrong way, I guess, depending on their take on that. But I really like this. I love it that none of the art is AI. This is all her original art. It's a combination of what looks like some watercolor and some pen and ink. A little bit of a border, not too much, not a distracting border. You know, sometimes you get a card and the borders are just obnoxious, so much so that actually sometimes I cut the borders off, but they're fine here. I don't feel bothered by them. All right, so let's get into the minors and see what we get. We have the Visionary of Water, the Artist of Water. I'm going to lay these out like this. The Voyager of Water, and the Initiate of Water. So also different there. What we have here would be the equivalent of the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the King of Cups. So differently named. Very cool. Very cool art. And we're probably going to count backwards here. Yep, starting with the 10. The 10 of water. Look at that, I love that. The 7 of water or the 7 of cups. That is beautiful. And all the way down to the ace. Just really beautiful. See, these cards are predominantly cool in color, blues used. And even when blues are not used, the color palette is still cool. So that aligns with cups and water. So I like that. She maintained that integrity throughout that. So let's see what's next. Fire. So I'll do the same thing. The Visionary of Fire, the Artist of Fire, so the King and the Queen of Wands, the Voyager of Fire, which is the Knight, and then the Initiate of Fire, which is the Page. Oh, hey, Bramble. Bramble wanted to come help. Excuse me, my man. Excuse me, my man. You gotta get down here, okay? Okay. All right, now let's count down starting at 10, the 10 of fire or the 10 of rods, 10 of wands. And finally down here to the ace. Interesting that she doesn't call it the ace. She actually calls it the 1 of fire. And I've not ever seen a deck use 1. It's always the ace as the 1 of whatever the suit is. It's really interesting that she chose to do that. And I really like how sparse the cards are. Predominantly white with just, you know, a little piece of art in the middle. Simple. I have another deck with similar art to this that I also love just for its simplicity. Sometimes cards get so busy that there's so much going on within the card and it's got a, you know, complicated border and there's so much going on that it just gets almost a little bit noisy and chaotic and a little bit difficult to interpret and read. So I appreciate a sparse, concise, deliberate card like this. So if you like that, you'll probably really like this deck too. Okay, now into air or swords. And there we go again with our page, our knight, our queen, and our king. Beautiful. Really nice. And we'll count down from 10.
Go with the 1 or the ace of air. I'm really loving this deck. I can see myself using this quite often, actually. So we'll see once I do some readings with it how it reads. But I just on initial flip through, I really like it. And here we go with our final suit of earth or coins or pentacles, depending on what deck you're reading. And there's our page, our knight, our queen, and our king. Okay, now let's count down. Oh, look how nice, the 10 of earth. Really pretty. And finally, our last card, the 1 of earth or the ace of earth. All right, guys, so there is the Awakening Tarot by Monica Bodirsky. Seems to be a very high quality deck, high quality boxing. I'll get these edges colored as I do with all of my decks, shuffle it really well, and then probably do a reading with it on my channel soon, one of my pick-a-pile readings. So be on the lookout for this deck featured in an upcoming reading. Thanks for watching.